This 1 Degree Outside video is brought to you by Fluid Form Bio, developing innovative 3D printing living pancreatic tissue to help combat type 1 diabetes. For the first time, you can join this visionary mission. Visit fluidformbio.com or their page on Start Engine to learn more about this exciting work.
Good morning, everyone. Danielle Noyes here for the 1 Degree Outside Weather Network. Pack some extra patience today and leave some extra time for travel. Big puddles, standing water develops. Anytime that's the case, hydroplaning becomes a concern. Road spray kicking up will reduce visibility and slow things down too. Now, splashover and pockets of minor coastal flooding will be possible this evening. Thankfully, tides are not astronomically high, but that said, there's a gusty onshore wind. The waves are building, so that's the result. If you live at the coast, you know the drill. Strongest gusts, 6 p.m. to midnight. We're going to take a look at those. Leaves on the trees, soggy ground, isolated damage, and outages possible. Our app is your friend on a day like today, especially. The interactive radar is hugely helpful. You can pinch and zoom, put different layers on, past plus future mode, look where the rain is, where it's going. If you haven't given it a download yet, it's free on the App Store and Google Play. All right, kids, it is not a day to mess around with the wet weather gear. Have it with you, the raincoat, the umbrella, the rain boots. It's going to feel like it's in the 40s, even at times the upper 30s as the wind increases later on in the day. So it is a cool, wet, raw feel. Temperatures in the 40s. Pockets of rain continue to fill in. The heaviest downpours focused in central and southern New England this afternoon and evening. So the evening commute will be impacted. Now, the farther north you go and the farther west you go, it's a little lighter intensity, but the rain will continue this evening, and it's cold enough that we flip to some wet snowflakes above about 3,000 feet in elevation. There will be some accumulation. I showed you the accumulation map for that snowfall yesterday in Insights. There may even be some wet flakes that mix down into the valleys, but no accumulation expected. Now, I do think after midnight, everything kind of winds down or slowly tapers off. Tomorrow morning, if you're an early morning riser, still some rain in northeastern Massachusetts and at the coast, but that's at like 4 or 5 a.m. And then things will taper off. It's a lighter intensity. Much of the day tomorrow is spent cloudy, raw, cool in the 40s with still some pockets of rain in northern New England. And then a lingering shower may pop up later in the day tomorrow. We'll have more on that in Insights, including your holiday weekend forecast. No big changes to what we're thinking. A widespread 1 to 2 inches of rain, but 2 to 3 in much of eastern Massachusetts, stretching back down through Rhode Island, perhaps briefly into southern New Hampshire too. So that's where the threat for localized flooding is greatest. Think urban centers, poor drainage flooding, things of that nature. Rivers, streams may briefly rise as well in spots later on this afternoon and evening. All right, predicted wind gusts. The wind ramping up 20 to 30 miles per hour is not a big deal. You'll notice that wind. But it's this afternoon to evening that the wind starts gusting over 40 along the south coast of Connecticut, Narragansett Bay, Buzzards Bay, and then 40 to 50 miles per hour on the Cape. Cape Cod, interestingly, will gust from the northeast and then maybe briefly southwest as the storm center itself comes right over Cape Cod. So even inside of 128, and maybe even 495, we get some gusts that go 30 to 40 miles per hour during this evening. So you'll hear it howling out there. That extends to the New Hampshire seacoast and the coastline of Maine too. Merrimack Valley, we may briefly gust around 40 miles per hour this evening. And then you notice inland, the wind is much lighter and the wind also shifts around. The strongest wind gusts overnight tonight and tomorrow morning will be along the coastline of Maine as the storm center will wrap up and be just offshore at that point. Now, waves are going to be building too. So that does mean that at least mariners, you want to keep an eye on this. 10 footers offshore, 5 to 10 feet close to the coastline. And I do want to show you tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday, because it's obviously a busy holiday weekend. The wind shifts around. There will briefly be some 10 to 15 footers offshore during the day tomorrow for Friday, especially from Browns Bank down to George's Bank. Those will slowly start to lower during the day on Saturday, but closer you are to the coastline, it's more like 2 to 4 foot seas on Saturday, and even lower, you notice, with that northwest breeze by the time we get to Sunday, only about 1 to 2 feet with some 3 footers farther offshore. So that's how things are looking for our marine community out there. You can always check out our merchandise too. Rep the brand you trust, swag.onedegreeoutside.com. We'll bring you any updates as necessary later on today, and we'll see you with Insights in a little bit.